Looking for the best gas lawnmower to take your yard from wild jungle to golf course clean? Well, you're definitely in the right place. I have personally tested some of the most recommended gas lawnmowers on the market, and today I am breaking down my experience with each one so you do not have to guess which mower will get the job done right. If you like real, honest reviews like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, every mower I mention in this video is linked in the description below so you can check them out for yourself after you watch. Now then, let's begin. At number 6, we have the YARDMAX 22-inch 201 cubic centimeter. The first time I fired this beast up, I knew it meant business. The 201 cubic centimeter OHV engine growled to life and just powered forward like a champ. This mower is designed for bigger jobs, and it showed. With a 22-inch cutting deck, I was covering large sections of grass in fewer passes. That alone saved me time and effort. I have a backyard that gets a bit out of control after a week or two of neglect, and the YARDMAX did not flinch. It tore through thick clumps and tall patches like they were nothing. The self-propelled drive felt smooth and helped me handle slight inclines and tough spots without putting too much strain on my legs or lower back. What really stood out to me was the height adjustment. With 7 options, I was able to experiment with how short or long I wanted the grass. The handle height adjustment was also a nice touch, especially for someone like me who is not too fond of hunching over for 45 minutes. I put this mower up against the SENIX 20-inch 125cc just to see the difference, and let me tell you, the YARDMAX is just in another league when it comes to raw power. The pros include strong engine, wide cut, and self-propelled. The cons include a bit heavy and noisy motor. At number 5, we have the PowerSmart 18-inch 144cc. If the YARDMAX was like driving a truck, this one felt like zipping around in a compact car. It is small, lightweight, and incredibly nimble, which is exactly what I needed for the front yard and along the edges of my fence. The 144 cubic centimeter engine is definitely smaller, but it still had enough juice to give a clean, even cut. Starting it up was no problem at all. It turned over easily every single time I tried it, even after sitting for a week. I loved how light this mower was. I could lift the front end with one hand and easily maneuver it around bushes, flower beds, and garden gnomes without having to stop and reposition constantly. During my test, it handled well-maintained grass perfectly and was even able to get through a couple of thicker spots, although not without slowing down a bit. The mower definitely performs better when the grass is dry and not overly tall, so it is great for routine maintenance. I compared it directly to the PowerSmart 21-inch 144cc, and while both have the same engine size, this 18-inch model was way easier to maneuver in tighter spots. The pros include lightweight design, easy start, and compact size. The cons include less power and small deck. At number 4, we have the SENIX 20-inch 125cc. Now this mower surprised me. When I first saw it, I was not expecting much. It has a smaller engine and a simple look, but sometimes simplicity wins. I tested it on my smaller lawn area that gets shaded and stays moist longer than the rest of the yard. It handled it just fine. The 125cc engine is not built for tall, wet grass, but on a regular weekly trim, it is more than capable. I really liked how lightweight it was. You can turn it with one hand, lift it easily to store it vertically, and transport it in a car trunk if you need to. The push motion was almost effortless, and the blade gave a surprisingly even cut without leaving behind streaks or missed patches. It is not for heavy-duty use, but for smaller yards or tighter quarters, this mower is dependable and easy to maintain. Compared to the PowerSmart 18-inch, the SENIX has a slightly larger deck but trades off in engine strength. The pros include very lightweight, compact build, and easy storage. The cons include underpowered motor and not for large yards. At number 3, we have the PowerSmart 21-inch 170cc. This mower steps things up in power while still keeping that smooth, easy-to-use design. The 170cc engine gave me noticeably better performance when I tested it on thicker grass and uneven ground. I used it after a full week of rain, and even though the ground was a bit soft, the mower handled the damp grass pretty well. It had enough torque to avoid bogging down and kept its pace without forcing me to push harder. The 21-inch cutting width felt like the sweet spot. It was wide enough to cut down on mowing time, but not so large that it felt clunky or hard to turn. I also appreciated the 3-in-1 discharge options. I tested all 3 modes: bagging, side discharge, and mulching. And I would say mulching delivered the most even results. The bag was spacious and the clips held well without shaking loose. Compared to the built-hard 21-inch 201 cubic centimeter, this mower was definitely easier to control and a little lighter, though the built-hard felt more rugged overall. The pros include powerful engine, versatile modes, and wide deck. The cons include plastic wheels and loud operation. At number 2, we have the built-hard 21-inch 201cc. This mower has earned its spot at the top because it delivered an experience that felt like professional-grade mowing at a homeowner price. The 201 cubic centimeter 4-stroke engine roared to life with a strong pull and kept that steady hum all the way through my back and side yards. It never struggled, never stalled, and cut with precision every time I passed over a new patch. The 21-inch steel deck gave me the reach I needed to get through the lawn quickly, and the self-propelled rear-wheel drive felt responsive, not jerky like some cheaper models. I especially liked that the cutting height adjustment was sturdy and easy to use. I went from a lower trim in the backyard to a mid-range cut in the front, and the transition took less than a minute. I intentionally ran this mower through a mix of obstacles: clumps, pine needles, gravel by the walkway, and it never felt like it was out of control. Compared to the PowerSmart 21-inch 170cc, this one has better traction and a noticeably tougher build. The pros include high power, consistent cut, and strong build. The cons include heavier frame and louder than average. At number 1, we have the PowerSmart 21-inch 144 cubic centimeter. You might think it is just a lighter version of the 170cc model, but it holds its own surprisingly well. It has the same deck size, the same cutting options, and similar design, but it just runs on a slightly smaller engine. I put it through a full cut on my side lawn, which usually gets shaggy around the fence line. It started right up with one pull and had enough strength to finish the job without lagging. It did slow a little in the thickest parts, but not enough to call it a struggle. If your yard does not get out of hand too often, this mower is more than capable of giving you that clean, striped finish. The wheels rolled smooth over divots, and I did not feel like I was wrestling with it at any point. Compared to the YARDMAX 22-inch, it is definitely less muscular, but you gain a lighter feel and more control in smaller spaces. The pros include reliable start, good cut width, and smooth handling. The cons include limited power and basic design. Each of these gas lawn mowers has its own strengths, and depending on your yard's size, condition, and layout, one will definitely suit your needs better than the others. All the products I tested today are linked right below in the description, so feel free to check them out. And if you want more hands-on reviews like this from someone who actually uses the stuff, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I have more gear reviews, comparisons, and backyard tested results coming your way soon. See you in the next one.